Moving on. The name of the book which we have in front of us is Bidayatul Sul fi Tafdhil Rasul. Beginning of the quest for the high esteem of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Bidayat from ibtida, beginning. And as I mentioned previously in another place, maybe the author might have meant Bidayat ibtida. And meaning, why did this question appear in the mind of the person who asked the question? There must be some reason it appeared to him that let me ask my father about Tafdhilur Rasul. As-sul is from su'al. Su'al means question. This question appeared regarding Tafdhilur Rasul. Fadilatul Rasul, the high esteem of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or maybe we could say that why he was given fazilat and excellence and virtue over the other prophets. Over here, first of all, we must know, as for our friends here who are not Muslims, let me just explain the word Rasul, messenger. When we say Rasul, translate it as messenger, and in the Arabic language, like Sahib Sharhul Aqaid al-Nasafi says, وَالرَّسُولُ إِنسَانٌ بَعَثَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَى الْخَلْقِ لِتَبْلِيغِ الْأَحْكَامِ. Rasul is a human being whom Allah sent to the creation to deliver the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. First of all, insanun. That means that Rasul will only come from human beings, not from jinns, not from angels, not from any other creation. Rasul will be a human being. That is the messenger. Insanun ba'athahu Allahu ilal khalq. Who sent him? Allah. Allah sent the messenger to the creation. Why? لِتَبْلِيغِ الْأَحْكَامِ. Because Allah had some commands, some guidance, and He wanted to give that guidance to the creation, so He sent the messenger, so that the messenger can deliver the ahkam and the message in which he was entrusted with, and deliver it to the people. How many Rasuls were sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We have to remember that first messenger is Hazrat Adam alayhi salatu wassalam. The first man to have set foot on the face of this earth is Adam alayhi salam. Once Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was asked, Ya Rasulullah, was Adam a prophet? And he replied, Nabiyyun Mukallam. He was not just a prophet, he was a prophet with whom Allah spoke. Meaning when Adam alayhi salam was in Jannah, he was created in Jannah, in the gardens high above the heavens. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took parts of soil from the earth, soft, hard, red, white, black. He made a form and a mold out of all those soils, and He made it a huge, massive form of human being of 60 feet tall. He left that for a good few years. The angels, they came around to see this new creation which was being created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shaitan, who was also at that time in Jannat, and he was worshipping, he had freedom to go around and roam around the heavens. He also went to see this creation. In fact, in some narrations it is narrated that he kicked the body of Adam alayhi salam, and he was jealous with Adam alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let that mold settle down for a good few years. Then He ordered the soul and the spirit to come down. This is that same soul which is extracted from the body of a human being when he dies. So that soul, that ruh, spirit, it came down and entered the body of Adam alayhi salam from his nose, his mouth, his ears, and went down. When it came up to his neck, throat, he opened his eyes and started looking around. It went down and up to the hips, and Adam alayhi salam stood up. It had not reached his feet yet, and he started to sit down and start to walk. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ مِنْ عَجَلٍ. Human being is created with haste. That he is hasty, he wants to rush into things. Then when the ruh went up to the feet, he stood up and he started walking around. That is the first person to be created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as mentioned in the books of Sirat and Tawarikh by Ibn Kasir in his book Qasasul Anbiya. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept him in Jannah. Allah talked to him directly. Ya Adam, uskun anta wa zawjuka al-Jannah. أكلا منها رغدا حيث شئتما ولا تقربا هذه الشجرة فتكونا من الظالمين. O Adam, stay in Jannah, you and your partner as well, and eat from it freely wherever you wish, and do not approach this tree, otherwise you will be from the wrongdoers. Adam alayhi salam acted upon the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, human being is forgetful. After a few months or years, he forgot and made a mistake and he ate from the tree, and he had to come down to this world. And time went on, and as humanity progressed, there came about people who moved away from the religion that was given to Adam alayhi salam, and created different things. Shaitan was the enemy of Adam, and he had sworn that he will misguide, mislead, deviate the progeny of Adam till the last day of this dunya, till the day of Qiyamah. And thus he worked so hard in order to mislead people, and he started getting some success. And then there was the need to guide people, bring them back to the original way which was given to Adam alayhi salam, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent prophets. Adam alayhi salam passed away. Among his sons was a prophet called Shis alayhi salam. And Allah Pak taught the humanity through Shis alayhi salam how to live and dwell in this world, how to make clothes, how to cover yourselves, how to read, how to write, and moved on. Then came the time when Nuh alayhi salam was sent, Prophet Nuh, and we hear the story about Nuh and his ark. And then time moves on, other prophets come, Salih alayhi salam, Hud alayhi salam, Salih alayhi salam, Shu'aib alayhi salam, until the time comes of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And time moves on, after Ibrahim alayhi salam, prophets come, but among his children. No prophet came among others after Ibrahim alayhi salam. They all came they were from the descendants of Adam alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam. He had two sons, Ismail and Ishaq. And from the line of Ishaq alayhi salam came many prophets. And from the lineage of Ismail alayhi salam came Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So both the prophets go back to Ibrahim alayhi salam. And in this way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent many prophets. We know the names of some, like Ibrahim alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, Sulaiman alayhi salam, Dawood alayhi salam, and Isa alayhi salam. And many we don't even know about them. Allah said in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلًا مِّن قَبْلِكَ مِنْهُمْ مَنْ قَصَصْنَا عَلَيْكَ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ لَمْ نَقْصُصْ عَلَيْكَ. O Prophet, before you we have sent many messengers. Some we have narrated their stories to you, and others we have not narrated to you. How many were the prophets? What is the exact amount of the prophets sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? One hadith in Musnad of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, on the authority of Sayyiduna Abu Zar Ghifari radiyallahu anhu. Even though it is weak and da'if in narration, however, it gives some indication as to the amount of prophets sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He once asked, Ya Rasulullah, ma wafa'u iddatil anbiya? What is the collective count and figure or amount of the prophets sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And he said, Miyatu alfin wa arba'atun wa ishruna alfan. 124,000. 124,000 Nabi and prophets were sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.